The steel trap had been there for 3 days. Maya knew because she'd been watching it from her cabin window, guilt gnawing at her conscience. She'd moved to these woods to disappear, not to get involved. Getting involved meant being noticed. Being noticed meant being found. But on the third night, when the rain came down in sheets and the temperature dropped to freezing, she heard it. A sound that wasn't quite animal, wasn't quite human. A whimper of pure agony that cut through the storm and straight into her chest. She stood at her door, hand on the knob, arguing with herself. It's probably just a coyote. Leave it. You can't save everything. You couldn't even save yourself. The sound came again, weaker this time. Damn it, Maya whispered, grabbing her father's old hunting jacket and the bolt cutters from the shed. The beam of her flashlight found him 20 yards into the tree line. Not a coyote. A wolf, or what was left of one. Massive, silver-furred, with eyes that reflected her light in an unsettling shade of amber. The trap had closed around his front leg, and the metal gleamed with something darker than rust. Silver. Maya's breath caught. No hunter uses silver traps. Unless. The wolf's lip curled, showing teeth, but the growl that followed was pathetic. Wait. He was dying. I'm going to help you, she said, surprised by the steadiness in her voice. But you have to let me. Those amber eyes locked onto hers, and for a moment, Maya felt the world tilt. There was too much intelligence there. Too much understanding. She moved closer. The wolf didn't lunge. Didn't snap. Just watched her with an expression that looked almost like resignation. The silver had burned through fur and flesh. Maya's stomach turned as she positioned the bolt cutters. This is going to hurt, she warned. She cut through the trap's hinge. The wolf's howl shattered the night, but he didn't bite her. Didn't run. Just collapsed into the mud, panting, those strange eyes never leaving her face. You're too big to carry, Maya muttered. But my cabin's close. Can you walk? The wolf tried to stand. Failed. Tried again. Pride, Maya thought. Even dying, this creature had pride. All right, we'll do this together. She wedged herself under his shoulder, taking as much of his weight as she could. He was impossibly heavy, his body radiating a feverish heat even through the rain. They made it to her porch. Through her door. Across her floor, leaving a trail of mud and blood on the worn wood. The wolf collapsed in front of her fireplace with a sound of relief. Maya grabbed every towel she owned, her basic first aid kit, and the bottle of whiskey she'd been saving for emergencies. This qualifies, she muttered, taking a long swig before kneeling beside him. She'd worked at an animal shelter once before everything fell apart. Before Marcus. She knew enough to be dangerous, enough to maybe keep this creature alive until morning. The silver had to come out first. Maya's hands trembled as she used tweezers to extract the fragments embedded in his flesh. Each piece she removed made the wolf shudder, but he stayed still, watching her with those two knowing eyes. You understand me, don't you? She whispered. The wolf's tail moved. What? Deliberately. Maya's heart hammered. What are you? But she already knew. Those eyes. That silver. The way he'd looked at her like he was seeing straight into her soul. She'd heard the stories. Everyone had. But stories were supposed to stay stories. She cleaned the wound as best she could, wrapped it in gauze, and sat back on her heels. I don't know what else to do. I'm not a vet. I'm just nobody. The wolf's breathing had steadied. His eyes were already clearer. Healing faster than should be possible. You should go when you're strong enough, Maya said, standing. I can't have anyone, anything, finding me here. I'm sorry. She turned toward her bedroom, exhausted, terrified, wondering what she'd just brought into her sanctuary. Behind her, bones began to crack and shift. Maya spun around. The wolf was convulsing, its body contorting in ways that defied nature. Fur receded. Limbs elongated. The sounds were horrible, wet, grinding, organic. Oh God, Maya breathed, backing toward the wall. Where the wolf had been, a man now lay naked on her floor, gasping for breath. Young, maybe mid-20s. Silver hair that fell past his shoulders. Lean muscle carved by hardship, not luxury. And scars. So many scars. His amber eyes found hers. Please, he rasped, his voice broken from disuse. Don't send me back. Then he passed out. Maya spent the night sitting in her armchair, her father's hunting knife in her lap, watching the stranger breathe. He didn't wake. Didn't shift back. Just lay there, human and vulnerable, wrapped in the blanket she'd finally worked up the courage to throw over him. By dawn, she'd made a dozen plans to call someone, animal control, the police, a priest, and dismissed them all. Who would believe her? And more importantly, any authority meant questions. Questions meant records. Records meant Marcus could find her. The stranger stirred as sunrise broke through her windows. His eyes opened slowly, landing on her with an expression of pure confusion. "You're still here," he said, his voice rough but clearer than last night. "It's my cabin," Maya replied, proud of how steady she sounded despite the knife in her lap. His gaze dropped to the blade. Something that might have been a smile, or maybe just pain, flickered across his face. "You won't need that. I'm not. I can't hurt you. You're a werewolf." "Yes. And you were left in that trap to die." His jaw tightened. "Yes. By who?" "My pack." He struggled to sit up, and Maya saw him wince as his injured leg moved. The wound was already healing, new flesh knitting together, but silver burns took longer. Or what used to be my pack. Maya should have been terrified. Should have thrown him out. Instead, she heard herself ask, "Why?" "Because I'm Omega." He said it like a curse. "Wait. Worthless. A stain on the bloodline. You don't look weak." His laugh was bitter. "That's the problem. I should be. Omegas are supposed to be small, submissive, useful only for..." He stopped, something dark crossing his face. "Other purposes. But I grew up wrong. Too big. Too willful. And my power." "What power?" He met her eyes and Maya saw fear there. Real bone-deep fear. The kind that threatens alphas. The kind that gets you exiled if you're lucky. Killed if you're not. "What's your name?" The question seemed to surprise him. "Asher. I'm Maya." She set the knife on the side table, not too far to reach but far enough to show a sliver of trust. "You can stay until you're healed. Then you need to go." "I have nowhere to go. That's not my problem." "No," Asher agreed quietly. "I suppose it's not. Thank you. For the trap. For not leaving me there." Maya stood, suddenly needing distance. "There's a bathroom down the hall. Clothes in the closet, they were my father's. Help yourself. I'll make breakfast." She escaped to the kitchen, her hands shaking as she pulled eggs and bread from her meager supplies. What was she doing? Harboring a werewolf? A creature from stories, from nightmares? But when she glanced back at him, watching him struggle to stand on his injured leg, pride keeping him from asking for help, all she saw was someone who'd been hurt by the people who should have protected him. Just like her. Asher was a quiet presence. He stayed in the corner of the cabin, moving carefully, taking up as little space as possible. Maya caught him watching her sometimes, not with hunger or threat, but with a kind of desperate curiosity, like he was trying to figure her out. On the third day she found him on the porch at dawn, staring into the forest. "Your leg looks better," she said, setting down 2 mugs of coffee. "It's healing." He took the offered mug, his fingers careful not to touch hers. "I'll leave soon. I know you want me gone." "I didn't say that. You didn't have to." He sipped the coffee and something that might have been pleasure crossed his face. "This is good. I haven't had human things in a long time." "How long were you with the pack?" "My whole life. 26 years. Until 6 months ago when they decided I was more dangerous than useful." "What happened 6 months ago?" Asher's grip tightened on the mug. "The Alpha's daughter came of age. She was supposed to choose a mate, strengthen bloodlines, secure alliances. She chose me." Maya waited. "Omegas don't get chosen. We're used, not wanted." Her father was furious. Said I'd manipulated her with my unnatural power. Maybe I had. I don't know anymore. His voice dropped. "They made an example of me. Public punishment. Exile. Left me in the woods to die or disappear. But you survived." "Barely." He looked at her, then really looked at her. "You're running too." It wasn't a question. Maya's defenses slammed up. "That's none of your business." "No," Asher agreed. "But I recognize the signs. The isolation. The fear in your eyes when you hear a car on the distant road. The way you check the locks 3 times before bed." "Stop." "Who hurt you?" I said stop. Maya stood, her heart pounding. "You don't get to ask me that. You don't know me." "You're right." Asher set down his mug and rose, moving toward the door. "I'll go. You've done more than enough." "Wait." The word escaped before Maya could stop it. "Your leg isn't fully healed. And there's a storm coming tonight. Just stay until it passes." Asher studied her face and Maya had the uncomfortable feeling he saw too much. "Okay," he said finally. "Until the storm passes." The storm didn't pass for 3 days. They fell into a rhythm. Maya worked on the cabin, repairs she'd been putting off, winterizing the windows. Asher helped despite her protests, his werewolf strength making quick work of heavy lifting. You don't have to do this, Maya said, watching him carry firewood like it weighed nothing. You saved my life. This is the least I can do. I didn't save you for payback. Then why did you save me? Maya paused, considering. Because leaving you there felt wrong. Most people wouldn't have cared. I'm not most people. Asher smiled, the first real smile she'd seen from him. It transformed his face, made him look younger. Less haunted. No. You're definitely not. That night, Maya woke to sounds from the living room. She grabbed her knife and crept to the doorway. Asher was on the floor, convulsing, his body shifting between forms. Of human. Of human. Each transformation ripped a cry from his throat. Asher. Maya dropped beside him, her hands hovering, not knowing how to help. Stay back, he gasped during a moment of humanity. Can't control it. What's happening? Full moon, approaching. Makes the shift unstable. Especially for Omegas. We're not as strong. Bullshit, Maya said firmly. You're plenty strong. What do you need? Anchor. The word came out half growl as his bones began shifting again. Need, anchor, to stay human? How do I do that? That you're set. Something to focus on. Maya didn't hesitate. She pressed her palm to his chest, right over his racing heart. Look at me. Focus on me. Amber eyes found hers, wild and desperate. You're safe here, Maya said, her voice low and steady. Nothing's going to hurt you. I've got you. The shifting slowed. His breathing evened out. Gradually, his body settled into human form, trembling but stable. How did you do that? Asher whispered, his hand coming up to cover hers where it still rested on his chest. Do what? Calm the wolf. No one's ever, Omegas can't control the shift alone. We need the pack bond. But you? Maybe you don't need a pack, Maya said softly. Maybe you just needed someone who gives a damn. Something shifted in Asher's expression. A wall crumbling. Why are you being kind to me? Because someone should have been. A long time ago. His hand tightened over hers. Maya, what are you running from? And maybe it was the vulnerability in his eyes. Maybe it was the trust he'd just shown her, letting her see him at his weakest. But Maya found herself answering. My ex-boyfriend. Marcus. The name tasted like poison. We dated for 2 years. He was charming at first. Successful. Everyone loved him. Then we moved in together and he changed. Or maybe he just stopped hiding. Asher sat up slowly, not letting go of her hand. Listening. It started small. Criticizing my clothes, my friends. Then he wanted to know where I was all the time. Then he started making decisions for me. Taking my phone. My keys. Maya's voice shook. The first time he hit me, he cried. Said he was sorry that I'd made him so angry that it would never happen again. But it did. It did. And it got worse. I tried to leave 3 times. He found me every time. Said I belonged to him. That if he couldn't have me, no one would. How did you finally get away? He nearly killed me. Maya touched her side, where a scar still ached on cold mornings. Broke 2 ribs, punctured my lung. I woke up in the hospital. The police were there, but Marcus had an alibi, witnesses who swore he wasn't there. Money and connections, you know? He walked. So you ran. I disappeared. Changed my name, cashed out what little savings I had, bought this cabin through a shell company my lawyer set up. It's been 8 months. Sometimes I think I'm safe. Other times. You hear every sound as him coming. Yes. They sat in silence, hands still joined, 2 broken things recognizing each other. I won't let him hurt you, Asher said finally, his voice carrying a growl that was pure wolf. If he finds you, he'll have to go through me. You don't owe me that. Maybe not. But I'm offering anyway. The full moon came. Asher was tense all day, pacing, his eyes flickering between human and wolf. Maya kept close, her presence seeming to calm him, though she didn't understand why. You should lock yourself in your room tonight, Asher said as sunset approached. I'll be in the shed. I've chained myself before when I had to shift alone. It's not safe for you to be near me. No. Maya. I said no. Last time you needed an anchor. Maybe you still do. You don't understand. Under the full moon, the wolf is stronger. More primal. I might not be able to control it. I could hurt you. You won't. How can you possibly know that? Maya met his eyes steadily. Because I trust you. Those words broke something in Asher. He turned away, his shoulders shaking. No one has ever trusted me. Not my pack. Not my family. I'm Omega. We're not trustworthy. We're weak, manipulative. Stop saying that. Maya grabbed his arm, forcing him to face her. I don't care what they told you. You're not weak. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met. You barely know me. I know enough. I know you could have left days ago. I know you stayed to help me. I know you've been hunting to keep both our stores full without telling me because you think I can't handle charity. I know you check the perimeter every night to make sure no one's found us. And I know, her voice softened, I know you have nightmares about your pack and you try to stay quiet so you won't wake me, but I hear you anyway. Asher stared at her, something raw and unguarded in his expression. I hear yours too, he said quietly. You call out his name. Tell him to stop. To please just stop. Maya's breath caught. We're both broken, Asher continued. But maybe broken things can hold each other up. The moon rose full and silver through the window. Asher gasped, his body beginning to shift. Maya moved closer, not away. Talk to me, she said, taking his face in her hands. Stay with me. Can't, it's too strong. Yes, you can. Focus on my voice. My scent. Stay human, Asher. For me. His transformation slowed, bones cracking back into place. It looked agonizing, the fight between human and wolf written across every line of his body. That's it, Maya encouraged, her thumbs stroking his cheekbones. You're doing it. You're stronger than the moon. Not stronger, Asher gritted out. You're just stronger than everything else. He collapsed against her, staying human through pure will. Maya held him, feeling the tremors that racked his body, the fever heat of his skin. I've got you, she whispered into his hair. I've got you. They stayed like that until dawn, when the moon's pull finally faded. Everything changed after the full moon. The walls between them crumbled. They moved around each other with easy familiarity, their broken pieces somehow fitting together into something that felt almost whole. Asher made her laugh, actual, genuine laughter that Maya had forgotten she was capable of. He told her stories about growing up in the pack, the good parts before everything fell apart. About running through forests as a wolf, the freedom of it. The joy. Maya opened up too. About her family, her father who'd taught her to shoot and fish in these very woods before cancer took him. About dreams she'd abandoned when Marcus made her world so small she couldn't see beyond his control. What did you want to be? Asher asked one evening as they cooked dinner together. Before. A teacher, Maya said, surprised by how much the admission still hurt. Elementary school. I loved kids. Loved watching them figure things out, that moment when learning clicks. You'd be good at that. I'll never know now. Why not? Asher turned from the stove to look at her. When this is over, when you're safe, why couldn't you go back to school? Become a teacher? Because Marcus won't find you. And even if he does, he'll have to get through me first. There was such certainty in his voice. Such absolute conviction. You can't promise that, Maya said softly. Watch me. He crossed to where she stood, cupping her face with a gentleness that made her chest ache. You saved my life, Maya. You gave me hope when I thought I'd die alone and worthless. Let me protect yours. I don't need protecting. I know. You're fierce and capable and stronger than you think. But everyone needs someone in their corner. Let me be in yours. Maya's eyes stung. Why? Why do you care? Because somewhere along the way I fell in love with you. The world stopped. You don't mean that, Maya whispered. I do. I know it's fast, I know it's complicated, I know I'm just an omega, I have nothing to offer you but Maya kissed him. It was clumsy and desperate and perfect. Asher froze for half a heartbeat before responding, his arms coming around her, pulling her close like she was something precious. You're not just anything, Maya said when they finally broke apart. And I love you too. God help me, I do. Maya. I was so afraid, she admitted, of feeling anything for anyone ever again. Of being vulnerable. But you make me remember who I was before Marcus. You make me believe I could be her again. You already are her. She never left. She just had to survive for a while. They kissed again, slower this time, deeper. Asher's hands shook as they traced the curve of her spine, like he couldn't quite believe he was allowed to touch her. I should tell you something, Asher said against her lips. About Omega powers. About why my pack feared me. Tell me. He pulled back, his eyes searching hers. Omegas have the ability to create pack bonds. Not the forced bonds of submission that alphas use. True bonds. Built on trust, loyalty, love. The kind that can't be broken. That doesn't sound threatening. It is to alphas who rule through fear and dominance. If Omegas can create bonds based on choice, on mutual respect, it undermines everything they've built their power on. His hand found hers, lacing their fingers together. I think I've been bonding with you. Since the moment you pulled me from that trap. I didn't mean to, didn't try to, but... I feel it too, Maya interrupted. This connection. Like I can sense your emotions sometimes. Your wolf. Does it scare you? No. She squeezed his hand. It feels right. Relief flooded Asher's face. There's one more thing. The bond, it's not complete yet. It requires... Requires what? A choice. A conscious, mutual decision to accept it fully. It would be permanent, Maya. You'd be bound to a werewolf. To me. You'd sense me always, know when I'm in danger, when I'm hurt. And I'd sense you the same way. What if I want that? You should think about it. Really think. Because once the bond is complete, there's no going back. You'd be tied to my world. To the dangers that come with it. Maya stepped closer until no space remained between them. I've been running for 8 months. Hiding. Afraid every moment that Marcus would find me. But with you I don't feel afraid. I feel found. Like I finally found where I'm supposed to be. You're sure? I'm sure. Then say it, Asher whispered. Say you accept the bond. I accept the bond, Asher. I choose you. I choose us. Power surged through the room, invisible but undeniable. Maya gasped as something fundamental shifted inside her, a new awareness blooming. She could feel Asher like a second heartbeat, his emotions wrapping around her own. Love, joy, reverence. A fierce protectiveness that threatened to overwhelm her. I feel you, she breathed. And I feel you. Asher rested his forehead against hers. My anchor. My home. My mate. They made love that night, tender and healing, two broken things becoming whole in each other's arms. Maya woke to Asher's growl. He was at the window, his body tense, eyes glowing amber in the darkness. What is it? She whispered, reaching for the knife she kept on the nightstand. Someone's here. Coming through the woods. Human. Fear spiked through her. The bond carried it to Asher, who turned to her with murder in his eyes. Is it him? I don't know. Maybe. The perimeter alarms I set up were triggered 10 minutes ago. Asher was already moving, pulling on clothes. Get dressed. If we need to run. I'm done running. Maya. No. She stood, pulling on jeans and a sweater with shaking hands. I'm tired of being afraid. Of letting him control my life even when he's not here. If it's Marcus, we face him. Together. Asher studied her face and she felt his pride through the bond. Together, he agreed. But I take lead. You stay behind me. Asher. Please. Let me protect you. That's what mates do. The word, mate, sent warmth through her despite the fear. Okay. But if things go bad, I'm not leaving you. I wouldn't expect you to. They moved to the living room. Asher positioned himself between Maya and the door, his body already beginning to shift, not fully wolf but something between. Claws extended from his fingertips. His teeth sharpened. The air around him practically vibrated with threat. Footsteps on the porch. A knock at the door. Maya? A familiar voice. Mel. Confident. Maya, I know you're in there. Open the door, baby. Let's talk. Marcus. Ice flooded Maya's veins. 8 months of hiding, of building a new life, and he'd found her. How? She whispered. Property records. Marcus called through the door, his voice taking on that condescending tone she remembered too well. Did you really think a shell company would hide you? I have people, Maya. Resources. It just took time. Leave, Maya said, her voice stronger than she felt. You have no right to be here. No right? You're mine. You've always been mine. I gave you everything and you threw it away over a few disagreements. You nearly killed me. Because you made me. You wouldn't listen, wouldn't obey, wouldn't? He stopped, taking a breath. When he spoke again, his voice was honey-sweet. The voice he used when he wanted something. But I forgive you. Come home. We'll start over. I promise things will be different. They'll never be different. And I'm not alone anymore. Silence. Then, you found someone else? You whore. You absolute. The door handle rattled violently. Open this door right now or I swear to God. Asher's growl was inhuman. Terrifying. The door handle stopped rattling. What the hell was that? Leave, Asher snarled, his voice distorted by the partial shift. Or find out. Who the fuck are you? Someone who's going to tear you apart if you don't walk away. Right. Now. Marcus laughed, that cold, mocking laugh Maya knew so well. You think you scare me? I've dealt with bigger men than you. Open this door like a man and we'll settle this. Asher, don't, Maya pleaded. He's baiting you. But Asher was already moving to the door, rage pouring through the bond. Not his rage, hers. All the fear, the pain, the degradation she'd endured was flooding into him through their connection, and the Omega power that his pack had feared was finally unleashed. He flung open the door. Marcus stood on the porch, tall and handsome in his expensive jacket, a gun in his hand. That's what I thought, Marcus sneered. Some nobody protecting my... He stopped, really looked at Asher. At the claws, the teeth, the eyes that reflected light like an animal's. What are you? Her mate, Asher said softly, dangerously. And you made a very big mistake coming here. Marcus raised the gun with shaking hands. Stay back. I'll shoot. I swear I'll. Asher moved faster than human eyes could track. The gun clattered across the porch. Marcus screamed as claws raked across his arm, not deep enough to maim but enough to hurt, to terrify. You like hurting people weaker than you? Asher grabbed Marcus by the throat, lifting him off the ground. How does it feel to be the weak one? Asher, stop, Maya said, though part of her, the dark, hurt part, wanted to watch Marcus suffer. He hurt you. Asher's grip tightened. Marcus's face was turning purple. He deserves to die. Maybe. But that's not who you are. And it's not who I want you to be. Asher looked back at her, his amber eyes wild. She felt the war inside him through the bond. The wolf's instinct to protect, to eliminate threats, fighting against his human understanding that killing would change him forever. Put him down, Maya said gently. He's not worth it. Slowly, Asher lowered Marcus to the porch. The man collapsed, gasping, clutching his throat. You have 10 seconds to run, Asher told him. If I ever see you near her again, if you even think about finding her, I will hunt you down. And next time she won't be here to stop me. Marcus scrambled backward, terror written across his face. You're insane. Both of you. This isn't over. Asher's roar shook the trees. Marcus ran. They stood together on the porch, watching him disappear into the woods. Maya's whole body was shaking, adrenaline and relief mixing into something that felt almost like hysteria. He'll go to the police, she said. Tell them about you. About us. And say what? That he was attacked by a werewolf? They'll think he's crazy. Asher pulled her against him, his body still vibrating with barely controlled violence. Are you okay? I'm free. Maya looked up at him, tears streaming down her face. For the first time in 2 years, I'm actually free. He might come back. Let him. Next time I won't stop you. Asher kissed her forehead, her cheeks, her lips. I was so afraid I'd lose you. Never. The bond, remember? You're stuck with me now. Best thing that ever happened to me. They went back inside, locking the door, holding each other until the shaking stopped. Outside, the sun began to rise, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. A new day. A new beginning. The classroom smelled like crayons and possibility. Maya moved between desks, helping her third graders with their art projects, feeling more like herself than she had in years. The teaching certificate had taken work, online courses, student teaching, background checks that made her nervous until they came back clear. Marcus had never filed a police report, never tried to find her again. Occasionally she wondered if Asher had paid him a visit to ensure his silence, but she never asked. Some things were better left unknown. Ms. Maya, one of her students piped up, is your boyfriend picking you up again today? Maya smiled. He is. He's so cool. Is it true he rescues wolves? Something like that. The unofficial wildlife sanctuary they'd built on her property was thriving. Injured animals found their way to them, or were brought by wolves who seemed to understand that Asher would help. The pack had tried to reclaim him once, sending envoys to demand his return. Asher had refused. He'd found his own pack, one built on choice and trust, with Maya as his alpha in all the ways that mattered. The bond between them had only grown stronger. Sometimes Maya could see through his eyes when he shifted, running through their forest with a freedom that made her heart soar. And he could sense her emotions, knew when she had bad days, when memories of Marcus crept back in. But those days were fewer now, farther between. The bell rang. Children streamed out to waiting parents. Maya packed up her things, smiling as she saw the familiar figure leaning against the school's fence. Asher looked good, healthy and whole, his silver hair pulled back, his amber eyes bright. He'd filled out since that night in the trap, no longer starving or broken. He wore his otherness more comfortably now, no longer ashamed of being Omega. "How was your day?" he asked, taking her bag. "Good." Little Emma finally mastered her multiplication tables. "And Tommy only tried to eat paste twice, so that's progress." Asher laughed, the sound making something warm bloom in Maya's chest. "Sounds like a victory." They walked to the truck hand in hand, drawing a few curious looks from other parents but not caring. Let them wonder about the unusual couple, the teacher with the mysterious past and her silver-haired boyfriend who worked with wolves. "I have news," Asher said as they drove toward home. "Rhea came by today." Maya tensed. Rhea was the Alpha's daughter, the one who'd chosen Asher, starting the chain of events that led to his exile. What did she want? To apologize. Officially. The old Alpha is dead, heart attack 6 months ago. Rhea took over the pack and she's changing things. No more exile for Omegas.